Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the Nerdic Pro podcast. Welcome back to the Nerdic Pro podcast YouTube channel. And with me on the line, I am, as per usual, Bobby Effin Summerstar. And with me on the line is obviously co-owner of Ireland Pro Wrestling, based out of Prince Edward Island in Canada, the one and only good old friend of ours, Mr. Justin Summers. Justin, how are we?
I'm doing all right, Bobby. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, not bad. Thanks. Absolutely fantastic to have you back on once again.
Dude, thanks for having me again. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, like the pleasure's always all mine. And yeah, so welcome back on for you now. I think this is like your third or fourth time on the podcast now, something like that.
I'm starting to lose count, man.
Yeah, well, it's always a pleasure having you on either way. So I'm aware that Ireland Pro Wrestling on Prince Edward Island in your neck of the woods of Canada have a show coming up on December the 20th titled
less than 2
Snow
weeks away.
Mercy.
Yeah, less than 2 weeks away, and I'm starting to get excited, man.
Yes, it would be 2 weeks. Yeah, it would be, wouldn't
it? I think we were 2 weeks on Saturdays, so we're coming down the line.
Yeah. So going into this show, the matches, the names on the show, right?
Yep.
You must be over the moon with the talent that you've been able to get for this show and for the shows that you've had previously as well, considering that you've only been owner of Ireland Pro Wrestling, what, a year, 2 years, something like that?
Not even, man, since January.
Since January, there we go.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like the success that you've been able to build in less than a year, mate, it's incredible. So
thank you.
From when you first took reins of IPW to today, what's sort of been going through like your head from day one to today?
How can we make it better? How can we make the fans love it more? How can we just continue to build every show? Like, I find after every event, we always kind of have like a digression, and we're doing a little bit of thinking about how things went. What can we streamline a little bit better? What can we offer to the fans more? Like, just always trying to make a better product. That's what it is. And you hit the nail on the head when you said, like, fantastic roster. Super proud of the roster that we have. All the names that have worked with us, all the people in the future that we have scheduled for 2026 already. It's gonna be fun next year.
As well, I mean, I can only congratulate you on the success that IPW have had since you guys have taken the reins. And yeah, so should we talk about the upcoming show on December the 20th, titled Snow Mercy? So the first match that I've got down is I believe, a drywall. I assume this is a 6-man tag match between Shadow Agency versus DDT and Bobby Boyette.
Yeah, so that is that's been something building for a while now. There's been a kind of back and forth rivalry between the Shadow Agency, Ricky Mortis, Pete LeBlanc, Ryan McGrath. They've had problems with Sebi, Daniel Wall, and Logan Green. So I mean, every event that we've had, there's always been some sort of interaction between them to either make the match not happen, or there's a disqualification or suspension or something happen along the lines that we haven't really got to see them go head to head. So Snow Mercy, we finally get to see that in this stipulation match, which is a drywall match, sponsored by Jack Drywall and Painting. And there's a little bit more there too, is that Logan Green is off doing Rich Boys stuff and can't make the event. So they've actually hired Bobby Boyette to be an acting dude in the DDT faction of dudes doing things.
So you say that it's a stipulation match. What's the stipulation in the match?
So the big thing is don't go through the drywall. If you go through the
Okay.
drywall, that's usually bad news bears. So
Okay.
yeah,
So is
it's
it
pretty much like a tables match, but substituting the tables for some drywall.
that's all right, yeah.
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 And I
So
don't know, you've been around the industry for some time now. Have you heard
uh,
of a drywall match anywhere before?
uh, well, I've been refereeing for 3 years and 2 months. I can never say that I've worked on a show that's had one or ever seen one before.
Yeah.
So, because when I originally see the graphic, like for this match, I was like drywall. I was like, what on earth? And, yeah, so obviously, like now coming to like getting put through like some yeah, like it kind of does make sense. So,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
I would love
so.
to say sponsored by Monster Energy Drink in your local neighborhood, Kyle, but we weren't able to procure those sponsorships for this event. So,
Oh, that's a bit sad, isn't
yeah.
it? Oh dear. So, is it elimination or is it the first person who gets put through the drywall, their team's out?
So that has not been fully committed to. I would like to see an elimination, but the board of directors have decided to announce that information the day of the event.
Okay, yeah, that's all right. Yeah, so stay tuned. So if you want, so those of
Pretty
you
much,
watching
yeah.
this podcast, those of you that actually want to know like the official thing for that, then attend Snow Mercy live and in person. So
And
yeah,
even if you're not able to attend live in person, we're streaming it on our Patreon. So
yeah,
anybody in the world can watch our event. We're also going to be streaming it on YouTube as well with the live stream. So I know you told me you were already going to be watching it, so thank
yes,
you. But
yes.
anybody else who wants to tune in, we'd love to see you guys tune in and let us know what you thought.
I believe your Patreon's $5 per month currently at
Two
the moment.
dollars.
$2 per month.
Yep.
Okay.
So I said for a Christmas gift, I want everybody to have the whole month of December for $2.
Well, you can't complain with that, can you?
Yeah, man, it's cheaper than a cup of coffee now. So
Especially over here in merry old England, like you'll be lucky to get a coffee for double that. So yeah,
yeah.
or like even a pint. So yeah,
And
so
Tim Hortons here is more than $2. So
oh dear. So the next match I have is Dominic Warrior versus. I do apologise if I'm pronouncing the name wrong. Bad Thad Howard. Is that how you pronounce it? Bad
you
Thad
got her,
Howard.
buddy. Yeah, that's bad. Thad Howard. So cool story is that Dominic Warrior was actually at our inaugural event, IPW Takeover, and he hasn't been back to an event since. So it's really cool to see him coming back and showing his face to our crowd again because he was a staple in that Fatal 4-Way match back at Takeover, which kind of brought all the hype there. And to have him going up against the Monster and Bad Thad Howard, it's going to be an interesting match because it's one of those just a size difference. It's almost like a David
Yeah.
versus Goliath sort of match, right?
Yeah. Like Bad Thad Howard, sorry, so Bad Thad Howard does look like he's, like the big sort of like heavyweight powerhouse in the match,
Y-
whereas Dominic does look like more of like the more technical high flyer.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? So
So it's
yeah,
like a Styles Clash sort of match.
yeah. Plus as well, Dominic does look the younger, like without trying to make Bad Thad Howard seem old, but Dominic does seem the younger out of the two.
Yeah,
Would you
Dominic
say that Dominic?
is a younger talent and he's up and coming. He's been putting
Yeah,
in a lot of work, so we're happy to have him come back and be able to showcase
yeah,
him again.
yeah. So with I was also meant to ask this with the 6-man tag. So, do you have any sort of thoughts on where these matches can go so far?
It's
Because
really
let's face it, like I'd imagine that they're both matches that could easily go either way.
and really it is because like I mean anything can happen in a fight, and anything can happen with a quick roll up or a big power move or catch somebody off guard or just catch somebody making a mistake and capitalizing on it. Like
Mm.
anything could happen in that squared circle, right?
Yeah, yeah, very much so. Very
Yeah.
much so. Yeah. So the next match that I have is T.J. Miguel versus the Mauler James Manning. I think I've seen T.J. Miguel somewhere, like on a show somewhere else before for
Maybe.
someone. Like
Yeah,
like the name definitely does ring a bell.
we've had him at other events that we've held as well. He was at our summer pop up, and he was at Game On, and he was at Takeover. He was on a couple of the VIP matches there too. Maybe they
Mm.
weren't on the live stream. They would be on the Patreon though for
Uh,
all the back catalog and the VIP there. But yeah, the Philippine Dream, TJ Miguel,
uh.
is going up against the Mauler, James Manning.
James Manning does look a bit, like he does look like the scarier type. To be fair,
Yeah.
doesn't he? Uh,
There's
so
there's a piece of there's a piece of his name being the Mauler that kind of describes his style of wrestling.
okay, yeah. Like I also think like his wrist tape, he's also got the word like the word of hate written
Yeah,
on it as well.
yeah, he's definitely not out there spreading love and cheer. I'll tell you that.
Oh no, yeah. Like the fact that now like his pictures literally like of him like with like one like with his like one of his eyes closed and just giving like that sort of like that death stare kind of
Yeah.
look. And yeah, definitely like wouldn't want to get on like the wrong side of him anytime
And
soon.
I'm
Uh,
excited for him to come back too because
mm,
we had him at our Game On events, so that would be three
mm,
events ago, and I really enjoyed watching him in the ring. He
mm,
didn't get out on top in that match, and that was actually a triple threat match with T.J. Miguel and Ryan
yeah.
Schimmel. So like there's a bit of blood between T.J. Miguel and the Mauler, so
Mm,
it'll be interesting to see how this ends.
yeah. So, do you have any thoughts on where these two guys can go in the future of IPW or the future in general?
I mean, both of them are hardworking individuals,
Mm,
both in and out of the ring. We've had promos submitted by both those guys. They're not willing to shy away from doing that sort of promotional work to help us as well, and
mm,
that makes us happy to support them and promote them the best we can.
mm,
Both those guys have definitely budding careers ahead of them. So I'm once again, I'm excited to see how it all plays out, and
mm,
hopefully we get to see some high action stuff. I know TJ Miguel has done some high flying maneuvers in the past, so maybe we'll see some of that. And James Manning, he drops those power moves. He's mauling people.
mm. Yeah, well, I would certainly like to see that match. So, yeah, I'm going to say this again. For those of you watching live, keep an eye on the Ireland Pro Wrestling YouTubes and Patreons, etc., so you can watch all that live.
Yep.
And yeah, so because so far with the three matches we've gone through, like I think that each match individually, like with how like you've been saying, like could easily have, the like that potential to be like the show stealer. Do you know what I
Yep.
mean?
And
So,
that was actually some of the criticism that Island Pro Wrestling has received was that we continuously book too good of matches.
mm,
There's always a potential for match of the night from any one of the matches.
mm. Which surely that's a good thing, isn't it? Do
Yeah,
you
it's a
know
good
what I mean?
problem to have. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, because then that gives people the excuse, like you wanted to call it that, to come back. Like the live in person audience and the external viewership, like online through
yep.
Patreon, YouTube, etc. Do you know what I mean? And then obviously, it puts more eyes on your product, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And like I said to our board of directors there on one of our last calls, I said, geez, it must be really hard to be the main event at one of these shows because you just have
Yeah,
to top everything else that's been happening on the card.
yeah, yeah. So moving on to a women's match, Ronnie Payne versus
Yes.
Chantal
She
in a.
so Ronnie Payne is actually making her Island Pro Wrestling debut.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Do you have a bit of a back history about Ronnie Payne?
Ronnie Payne has been in the maritime wrestling scene here for a couple years now. She's worked for some other promotions, and she's actually a champion in some other promotions in the women division. So it's really cool to be able to get to showcase her on our grand stage, and set the spotlight on her for a little bit there, and have her debut with us. But at the same time, it's not like she's getting a like come on down welcome because she's facing Chantel. And
Mm,
Chantel is also extremely experienced. She's been all over the country, out of international wrestling as well. So
mm,
it's not like it's going to be an easy welcome for Ronnie. But
mm,
I think both those women really showcase the hard work and dedication that goes into the women's division, not just in
mm.
maritime wrestling, but in just women's wrestling in general.
Yeah, yeah, certainly. So, would you like to see these guys back in Ireland Pro Wrestling in the near future and
Oh
maybe
yeah,
contest for the um, women's title at some point in the future?
yeah, we'd been discussing opening a women's division title, like actually
Mm,
having a belt for the women's division. So we originally planned when we bought the company to have a couple women's matches, but it seems to be
mm,
almost becoming a regular thing at all of our events is to have a women's match. So the division is growing. There's been
yeah,
a lot of outside talents that have been reaching out to us in the women's wrestling division saying, how do
yeah.
we get involved? We want to participate in IPW. It'd be great if you guys would have a women's division title.
Mm.
So we're listening, girls. We're listening.
So, as and when you do crown a IPW Women's Champion, would you say that you go through like a tournament process to have X amount of people compete in said tournament, and then like the final two compete for like the actual title? Like would that be a possibility to have?
I mean, ultimately, the board of directors will vote and make that decision on how
Mm,
to implement that title. But that's how we did the heavyweight championship title was ran a tournament. So to
mm,
me personally, I would also like to run a tournament to just make sure that everybody is competing at the highest level and really earning that title.
mm. Yeah. Okay then. So yeah, so Roddy Payne versus Chantel. I'm sure that this could attract some viewers to it. So yeah, like especially if Chantel's a international
Yep.
worker. So yeah, you know, uh,
At our last event, whenever Chantel was it our last event? Maybe it was two events ago, but Chantel was taking on Danny Leo, who's based in Montreal in Canada
yeah,
here, and that match was gaining some online viewership as well. Like we still see that video perform very well on YouTube of people going back and rewatching that match. Both of those ladies put on an excellent showcase.
like it's really good to see that matches that have already happened, to have people continuously go back to it. If it's a match that they like enjoyed watching, whether it be someone who was physically there or whether it be somebody who watched it on TV or on YouTube or wherever. Like it's good to see that people are still going back and like watching bits and pieces. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
100%. And it gets so like I'm that data nerd that I keep an eye on the statistics of the YouTube channel and the Facebook and all that sort of stuff. So it's really cool to see how the YouTube algorithm works with it too, because it's almost like just randomly YouTube would just push that video again. And you see a
yeah,
spike in viewership for a week, and then it just kind of peters off again, and then you see another spike happen.
yeah,
So yeah, there's
yeah.
people out there who are at least recognizing Island Pro Wrestling online, and
Yeah,
at least recognizing the women that are participating here too.
yeah, yeah. Granted, yeah. So going on to a VIP match, Ryan Schmeichel.
Schimmel.
No, sorry,
Schimmel.
Schimmel. Sorry for pronouncing the like the name wrong. I was going to say Schmeichel, but then I realised that's not how you pronounce it.
Yep.
So yeah, Ryan Schimmel versus Alex Silva.
Yes. That is a fantastic technical matchup.
I
Uh,
have seen Alex Silva on the circuit previously. I must say I am definitely a fan. So yeah.
we're totally honored to be working with Alex Silva again. He came to
Mm,
our Game On events at the beginning of the tournament. We
mm,
had him matched up against Giant Orion, which he didn't come
yeah.
out on top in that event. But my God, that match was fantastic.
Giant Orion. I mean, like, I pronounced his name wrong. Like maybe we did in the previous podcast, but yeah, like I've gone online like to watch like a few of his matches, and he's the sort of Giant Orion, Alex Silva, the type of guys who would struggle to have a bad match. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like
Yes.
they find it hard to put on like a poor match. Like,
And
would
like
you?
even before the match, like when I was coming around doing like the pre-show checkup, making sure everything was good, I see Alex Silva sitting there just mentally focused in because he knows he's stepping up against a giant. Like that guy takes this
Yeah.
so serious and puts so much hard work into his craft. It's really inspiring to see how hard and dedicated he is to the wrestling community. So
Mm,
having him match up against Ryan Schimmel, who is
mm,
also from the Maritimes here, he's also a technician on the mat. He
mm,
seems to have a really good wrestling psyche to him.
mm.
So just I'm excited to see that because I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of back and forth there.
Yeah. So, with this being a VIP match, would you like to explain to the viewing world how VIP matches for IPW work?
Well, it's pretty straightforward in my mind, but I guess I'm a little back asswards compared to other places in the world. But on our VIP shows, we want to make sure that the people who are paying the most for their tickets, which is the VIP people, are getting some of the best matches available. So having Alex Silva and Ryan Schimmel participate on this VIP, people can buy their ticket locally for the VIP, come down and watch it live in person. Awesome. We give you a little goodie bag whenever you show up for your VIP experience.
Mm,
And anybody who's online or watching remotely, sign up to the Patreon. $2. You get to watch the entire VIP matchups. And that's the only place that you'll ever be able to see the online match for any of our VIPs.
Well, I think for $2, I mean, watching it on Patreon, I think with the quality of matches that you can watch on there, I don't think you can complain, really.
And
So,
I mean, there's so much
yeah,
more to it too. Like you get the VIP matches on the Patreon, but you also get exclusive content. You get the back catalog of all the
yeah,
post or the pre VIP matches that we've had in the past. There's other perks associated with joining that Patreon. So I personally think $2 is a steal of a deal, and
yeah.
I can't wait to see everybody tune in and watch this match. It's going to be a white knuckle match for sure.
Mm. So moving on to the next match, I think that again this match is just criminally wow. Wesley Pipes, Giant Orion, two blokes who I've seen on the circuit plenty of times, right? It, in a 2 out of 3 falls match for the
Yes.
Ireland Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. I
Yes.
mean, how? Wow.
Yeah.
I think this match is, got 5 stars rated all over it, in my honest opinion. So, yeah.
It's also like a little bit of history behind this as well because
Mm,
during the what we're calling the classic era of Island Pro Wrestling prior to our ownership, Wesley Pipes was actually the inaugural heavyweight champion of IPW in the heavyweight championship division. So
Yeah.
he had released a promo there not too long ago, kindly reminding Giant Orion that he was the first Island Pro Wrestling heavyweight champion. So we only thought it fitting to kind of pit the classic era against the new era. And Giant Orion is our inaugural new era champion with Island Pro Wrestling. So we have, it's a great matchup. We're going to see who the better fighter was from the classic era and the new era.
Yeah. And
That's
having
why
it in
we
a
had to
2 out
put
of
a
3 falls as
stipulation.
well.
Yeah, we had to put a stipulation on it. 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
Make like a concise decision on who wins that, right?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, like I think this match in particular will definitely put bums on seats and definitely sell tickets and definitely draw people in like to watch from all corners of the world, because Wesley Pipes, I mean, he's again how Wesley Pipes isn't a bigger name than like what he already is. I think he's just how you know what I mean, because like as well as Giant Orion, again having the power behind him, having the size behind him, because like it's in its name, he is legit and giant, and like I think that he can perform quite easily.
And not to mention, he was just recently down at the WWE ID program. Like he's turning heads everywhere he goes. I mean, Wesley Pipes as well. He's an international wrestler down in Mexico, down in America, in Canada. So, like, this is definitely 2 established, notable men facing each other for an honorable title.
Yeah, exactly. Like I would personally put it under a potential dream match category quite easily. So,
It had been requested by fans time and time again. They wanted to see this matchup happen, and we said, you know what? There's only one way to do it. That's make it a 2 out of 3 falls match. Make sure that it's a hard decision on who wins that match.
yeah. Yeah, so I was going to say, fans requested it, and fans are getting exactly what they asked for. That's what I like to see out of pro wrestling.
And anytime fans have recommendations, I'm super approachable. You can shoot me a message, make a recommendation. I'd love to hear it. It all goes into the think tank, and we try and make the best matches possible every single show.
Yeah, I agree. Like it may not happen straight away like that.
That's right. Yeah.
But obviously, it can always happen in the near future. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
100%. Like that's wrestling for you. Do you know what I mean? Like it may not happen, tomorrow, but like there will always try and maybe have like a story built out of a particular match, to make it more investable, if that's a word.
Yeah.
So,
and it makes sense to us too, because we're a very storyline driven promotion. We want to book things that make sense. We want continuity in all of our matches and all of our roster. We don't want to just pit one guy against another just to see it happen. We want it to make sense. We want to showcase our characters appropriately and really build on the potential that could be.
Yeah, precisely. So yeah, like for those of you watching live and for those of you watching afterwards, I definitely do think that Wesley Pipes, Giant Orion, that is certainly a match that will be putting bums in seats and will be a definite ticket seller. So yeah, you'll be seeing it on Snowy Mercy for Island Pro Wrestling, December the 20th.
Yep.
So yeah. So the next match I have is another VIP match. It is a unsanctioned street fight match between Sharky Jones and a very spooky kind of character, if you want to call it that. Demonic.
Yep.
Demonic, yes. So tell us a bit about this one. Like, is there history going into this match? Sharky Jones looks like a bit of a Tennessee kind of like redneck, if you want to call it that. And you got Demonic, who's I don't even know, like from like the deepest, darkest depths of hell. And yeah,
It's there's a bit of history here in the buildup of this too, and the board of directors would not sanction this match. So
okay.
at our
Yeah.
last event, we had Sharky Jones participate in our event. He's the Ironside Outlaw, and he was down to draw the 50-50 ticket for our sponsor, for our charity that we give the 50-50 money to, which is the Prince Edward Island Humane Society. And when he was in the ring to draw that ticket, Demonic actually came out and started abusing our ring announcer, Deuce. And I mean, if you get to know Sharky Jones at all, you just understand that he's not the kind of guy to stand around while somebody's kind of being picked on. And he jumped in and kind of helped defend Deuce a little bit from Demonic. But Demonic grabbed him, hit him with the crossroads, and yeah, it kind of shook him up there for a little while. So after the event, like, of course, me and the board of directors are like, "Oh my god, our sponsor just got hurt in the ring. Like, what? What are we doing here?" We reached out to check and see if Sharky was okay, and he came forward right away, being like, "Put me in a match with him. Put me in a match with him. I want to get my revenge. You don't just kind of do this stuff and get away with it." So he had requested to fight Demonic. Um, the board of directors was very much no fly zone. It's not something that we want to get involved in. But the persistence was there. He was like, he can't get away with that. So put me in a match against him. So at the end of the day, we said, okay, we'll do the match, but we're not sanctioning it. So and and once again, if you know Sharky, he's the Ironside Outlaw. So this is an Ironside street fight. He's coming, and it's just going to be brutality. Demonic, of course, accepts the challenge, no problem. He's not scared of anything. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting match here because this is one of those standing up to your bully situations
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
not being all walked on. So
So talk us through Demonic then. So what's the deal with him? Like, is he? Does he speak? Does he have a first language? Like, what's the deal with Demonic?
So it's
Like,
funny you asked that, Bobby, because nobody had actually ever heard demonic speak before.
oh,
Demonic actually speaks through a third party called I don't know if they've called him the Vessel, who does the speaking for demonic. But for the first time ever, Sharky Jones was able to have demonic speak. Um, we had released a promo maybe, I don't know, a week or two ago, and it was the first time that we'd ever heard demonic speak. So he is not shying away. He's actually telling Sharky that he's a fool to be requesting to be in a match like this. But it's there's definitely some fog and some mystery behind demonic still. I think people are still trying to figure out what's really going on with this guy. He's definitely like a dark character, and like there's a lot of open-ended questions of like, who is this guy, where is he from, why is he here, all sorts of questions. So hopefully we get some answers here soon, and I mean, I hope Sharky's prepared for it because we've seen demonic in a few matches before, and he doesn't take it lightly.
yeah. Well, I must say, with obviously everything that's gone into this match, I'm sure that you can expect it to be a bit of a hard hitting, mutilated contest. Like, wouldn't you agree?
I wouldn't put it past Sharky to make sure to have a few weapons close by. So uh, he's the Ironside Outlaw, bro. So
Yeah.
I mean, he's not going to shy away from a challenge, or not going to stand around and watch his friends get picked on and bullied either. So
Don't blame him.
pretty admirable of him, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So you mentioned, like before we carry on, like you mentioned the charity that Sharky Jones was doing the 50-50 raffle for the
Yeah,
previous show. Do you want to give them a bit of a plug before we move on?
100%. We are partnered with the Prince Edward Island Humane Society. They do everything in their power to help any abandoned pets or pets that need adoptions or foster homes, dogs, cats, rabbits, gerbils, you name it. They're out there trying to find forever homes for those guys, and they're always in need of some food or something. So we figured, if there's anything that we can do to help provide a little bit of monetary assistance to that foundation, great.
Mm.
So
Personally, I'm a bit of a big believer of, whether you get a pet, whether it be, like as you said, cat, dog, hamster, gerbil, horse, whatever, right? They automatically become part of the family and become part
yes,
of the household. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, like it's good to see that these various charities, doing their bit to try and help, pets that are,
I mean,
looking
yeah,
for that for a home.
sometimes the animals are in a bad situation, or
Mm.
maybe their owners have passed away, or
Yeah,
there's a lot of different situations why animals may have to go to the Humane Society. So
yeah,
we just want to make sure that we're doing our parts the best we can to try and assist that too, because
yeah,
as you know, animals don't have a voice for themselves. So
no,
it's
yeah.
good to have people kind of acting on their best interests.
Mm.
And I
Yeah,
like to
so
add, make sure to spade and neuter your animals.
yeah.
The
So
old Bob Barker line right there. So
yeah. So do you know, like, if there's like a way for people to donate to them, for those watching live, if they want to donate a couple of dollars here or a couple of pound here and there?
yeah, 100%. If you go to the PEIHumaneSociety.com website, there's a place there where you can make a donation. There's a message form there where you can send them a message, ask for more information. If there's a way that anybody who wants to help out and step up and try and find these animals some homes, I'm sure they'd love to hear from you.
Mm. There we go then. Yeah, like, I'm glad to hear that. You guys are doing like your bit for society. So
Yeah.
yeah. So so I believe that is it for in terms of matches. I did see there was a thing somewhere. Sorry if I go back a tiny bit. Go back a few files. So I see that there is Caden going to
Yes.
be appearing. Do you want to talk us through about Caden?
So Caden is Port City's finest, and he has graciously accepted the offer from Island Pro Wrestling to have a talk show segment at our event. Um, you could imagine Piper's Pit or Heartbreak Hotel. We're going to let Caden have his time. So we figured it was accurately named My Time. Uh,
Okay.
Caden is going to be in there with a microphone and having his time. So it's pretty exciting because we've got to know Caden over past couple of events, and he definitely has some things on his chest that he wants to say. So
Okay. Yeah. So yeah. All right then. So do you reckon that something like this will be a more regular occurrence on IPW shows? Would
I
you
would
hope?
like to think so that Caden's My Time will become maybe a staple at an IPW event. We're definitely going to see how this one goes. Who knows how hard he's going to go on the microphone? Maybe we'll never want to give him a microphone again. So, like, but
There is
yeah,
always that possibility.
there's a risk
So
to reward thing going on there, but we
yeah.
definitely thought it was a good idea to have at least a talk show segment where maybe Caden could interview some of our other roster members, or even just kind of give his perspective on how things are going in IPW.
Mm. Yeah. Okay then. Yeah. I also see that you guys are doing a exclusive holiday VIP gift pack
Yes.
with a custom Giant Orion action figure
Oh
as
man,
well.
have you seen the picture of that thing yet?
Yes, I've
Yeah.
got it right in front of me. And my God, yeah. Uh,
So like that is down to the tattoo. Like all the tattoos on Giant Orion are on that action figure. Got to give a shout out to our buddy Chili who made that up. That is a custom made, handmade action figure, and it's super cool for him to offer that as part of our VIP swag pack.
hmm,
So anybody who's buying a VIP ticket, your name automatically gets put into the draw, and there'll be some other like merchandise to go along with that action figure too. A couple T-shirts or stickers, and
yeah.
things like that, right?
I like the fact that now they put the one like that he's got on one of his thighs on the figure as well, like the tattoo. That
Yeah,
actually looks pretty good to be fair.
right. That's what I mean. Like, Chili did a great job on getting that thing put together.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So are there still tickets available for those wanting to come along to Snow Mercy?
They're going quick. There are
Hmm.
still tickets available, but they are going quick. I'm really hoping we get to be like sold out. That would be a fantastic thing to say. So I always look forward when we're getting real close and I'm watching all the numbers come down the line. But
Hmm.
there are still some tickets available. So if you want to go get them, if you're local here in Prince Edward Island, it's islandprowrestling.com. Go pick up your tickets. And I highly recommend anybody for the price of $2, less than a coffee, join the Patreon account and enjoy all the exclusive content there too.
Yeah, yeah, very much so. So, I mean, what a card! You know, you've got the drywall match, Shadow Agency versus DDT and Bobby Boyette.
Yep.
You've got Caden appearing. You've got Dominic Warrior versus Bad Fan Howard. You've got the Mauler James Manning versus TJ Miguel. You've
Yep.
got Roddy Payne versus Chantel. You've got Ryan Schimmel versus Alex Silver. You've got, I mean, the absolute barn burner of what is going to be the barn burner between Wesley Pipes and Giant Orion. You've got Sharky Jones versus Demonic. I mean, what
How
more do
much
you
how
want on the
much
show?
more can we fit on the card, right?
Yeah, exactly. How
Yeah.
much more do you want on it? You know what I mean? You know, yeah, mate, I could very much recommend.
And I mean, from your perspective, the refs are gonna have a busy night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, very much so. Yeah,
Yeah.
personally, I would not like to be on the receiving end of people like Wesley Pipes, people like China Eye, people like Demonic. You know, and it's like, oh, mate, you know, my ref the match recently. When I say recently, this was like start of October. Between Jazz the Ripper, who's like a Jack the Ripper kind of character, and the Voodoo Queen, Amara, and it was literally like a scene out of The Walking Dead. And yeah, I was like, oh my god, I was like the only ref on that show, like 10 matches later. And it was like, oh my god, do you know what I mean? You know, like, literally nightmares for days. And
Yeah, I
yeah,
bet.
and
that's
then
that's got to be tough in your position too. Like you get thrown into these situations, and you're like, okay, I'm the guy in charge right now.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, the past couple of months I've been hit with chairs, I've taken spears, you know, bumps and hit round the head with God only knows what and what have you. People don't understand, you know, without trying to
Just
toot
to
my own horn.
respect the ref, eh?
Yeah, it's fucking hard to ref. Do you know, like, excuse my
Yeah.
French, it's hard. Do you know what I mean? You know, I've recently done my 214th match,
Yes,
you know, and
sir.
it's like, you know, it's in just a little over 3 years. So October 1st, 2022 to the 21st of November was my last show.
Yeah.
And then did my 214th match. You know, it's a hard job being a ref.
Yes,
It
it
very
is.
much is. Do you know what I mean? Who are the refs or the ref on this show?
So on this event, we have our junior IPW referee Alex Scott,
Hmm.
and we have our returning veteran referee Adam Palmer.
Hmm. very well. I'm just going to say, big up the referees. So,
Yeah.
yeah, um, coming from a referee's perspective here in the UK, it does annoy me when people say that referees are literally only there to count the pin. Coming from the wrestlers,
Yeah.
doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen. So my immediate response to when I'm being told that, like, you're only here to count the 3, you're only here to count the 5, you're only here to count the 10. All right. So when you suffer a concussion, right, when
Yeah.
like your shoulder pops out of place, when you dislocate a bone, when you break a bone, right, and it's obvious you've hurt yourself, since I'm only here to count the 3, the 5, the 10, I'm not gonna, help you
Yeah.
with that. I'm not gonna
Oh,
call the
your
match off.
leg's broken? 1,
Yeah,
2,
yeah,
3.
exactly. Yeah, but even better, like if it was a last man standing match, and like couldn't get up thanks to their injury. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, like the amount of times that I've said that to people, and like they literally then look at me thinking, and then like they then ponder off, and like, I don't see them again until we're in
It's kind of
like in
one
the
of
ring with them.
those, like, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? It's one of those unsung jobs, right?
Yeah,
Like, you need to have a referee,
yeah,
and they don't really get the big spotlight on them or
mm,
anything like that. But without them, there's no match.
yeah, exactly. Exactly, because obviously it's us who call for the bell. Like it's also as I've just like explained, it's a safety aspect as well.
Yep.
Because wrestling, you could be the best trained wrestler on planet Earth, but shit happens. Do
Shit
you know what I
happens.
mean?
Yep.
And yeah, like touch wood. I've never really been in the match more than somebody getting like a bloody nose or like a fat lip,
Mm.
or whatever. Do you know what I mean? So I've never been in a situation where someone's had to take time off from
Yes.
something. Touch wood. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, so
It's
yeah,
unfortunate when it happens, but it only
yeah,
takes a second to happen, right?
yeah, it does. It does. And again, you know, when you're planning out your match, even if you do plan it out spot for spot for spot for spot for spot for spot for spot, I think the worst thing that you can do is plan it out literally every single spot that you
Everything.
can do.
Yeah.
Um, like again, call it on the fly, like if you have to. Again, you could forget things, and then that's where calling on the fly could come into fruition. And you like again with your mind being like, oh shit, 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 shit. Well, what do I do next? And again, that's the main sort of thing where injuries can then happen.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
You get lost
And
in the fog of the war, right?
yeah, exactly. So yeah, like I always say, ring announcers, refs, the people on the music, the production, ring crew, again, like the unsung heroes
Unsung
of all that,
heroes. Yep.
you
100%.
know, because again, like, without the referees, without the ring announcers, without the tech, the music, people, the people at the venue, blah blah blah, ring
I'm a
crew,
firm believer that it takes a village to make it happen, right?
it does,
It's wrestling is more than the promoter. It's more than the
yes.
wrestler. It takes a community to make sure that it's going to thrive.
Exactly, like the things that you see in the ring, there's obviously people have creative meetings over that, and whatever. I've been at the venues before shows, 3 hours before doors are opened, when like the rings get in there and being put up, and when like all like the stage setups, being set
Yes.
up and like what have you, just to make sure that everything is up to par. If
Yeah.
anything's broken or anything's missing or whatever, like they can then use that time to go out and get like a replacement or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, so it's all like that 2-3 hour show. There's a lot more preparation that goes into it than like the
There's
actual wrestling match.
a
Do you
lot
know
of
what I mean?
background work. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
So yeah, I think people behind the scenes and what have you, like, I don't think get anywhere near as much credit as what they deserve. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, like, as I'm sure that you're familiar with yourself,
Yeah.
and so yeah, so
If I had a nickel for any hour that I worked on an IPW, I I'd be doing better than now.
yeah, if I had half a nickel, like for all that, like in my case, busing it and trading it and taxiing it to and from, staying in hotels and what have you, for every hour that I travelled and worked on shows and what have you, I'd never need to work like another day like in my entire life. Do you
But I
know what I
mean
mean?
that shows the passion that you have for the industry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. I'm up in Wakefield next Sunday, which is like a 3 hour drive from mine, but I have to bus it and train it with bus routes and train routes and taxis, and it's like near enough double that. So
Yeah.
like for public transport stuff. So yeah. Anyways, Snow Mercy, Mr. Summers.
December 20th. Get your tickets now. Get that
Yeah.
Patreon signed up. Tune in to the YouTube channel. We're trying to monetize the YouTube channel too. So the more watch hours, the better. I mean,
Yeah.
last event we had over 2,600 people view live. So it'd be fantastic to see that number go up again this time. So yeah,
Personally, I would recommend putting up shorts as well, because that that does help bring in a couple hundred. Well, in my case, anyways, bring in views
Yep.
for the podcast. So yeah, with all the matches that are on the show, Justin, I mean, what more could you want? Do you know what I mean? I can guarantee that this show's, to end off what's already been a cracking first year for your ownership in the new era of Ireland Pro Wrestling. I mean, what a better way to finish off the year? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. We're calling it seasons, but our end of season will be February 28th.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's going to be a good way to go into the holidays. That's for sure.
yeah, yeah. So, for those people watching live, for those watching, where can people find Ireland Pro Wrestling on social media?
You can find us everywhere. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Patreon, we're on TikTok, and it's all the same handle at Island Pro Wrestling.
Mm. Yeah. So, as well, do you have any more dates confirmed for the 2026 year?
We have all of our Hardstone dates confirmed for 2026.
Yeah.
I can't release them all right now on the podcast, but if you keep an eye on the social media
Yeah.
over the next coming weeks, you're going to see we have
Yeah.
a very busy 2026 ahead of us.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah.
So, Justin, I must say it's been an absolute pleasure, as per usual, having you back on the podcast. I do very
It's
much
always
appreciate
awesome
it.
catching up with you too,
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
Yeah, same goes. Same goes. It's always fun, having these international podcasts, between the UK and Canada, and yeah, I wish you all the success possible for Snow Mercy.
Thank you.
In 13 days' time, as it is, so less than a fortnight.
Countdown's
So,
on.
very much indeed. So with the main photos, I can't think what they're actually called. The main graphic for the show. I see that this is at the Prince Edward Island Brewing Company, 96 Kensington Road, Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island. VIP doors at 4:30, bell 5 p.m. Main doors 5:30 p.m. Bell time at 6. Tickets at irelandprowrestling.com. Card is subject to change. Either way, this is going to be a very, very good show. You'll be an absolute fool to miss out.
100%. Well, thanks again for having me on, Bobby, and I can't wait to get your perspective after you see it online, buddy.
You very much shall. Yeah,
Okay,
so
man. Take care.
ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the Nerdic Pro podcast, my name is, as usual, been Bobby Effin Salastar. With me on the line has been the co-owner of Ireland Pro Wrestling, based out of Prince Edward Island in Canada, the one and only Mr. Justin Summers. Justin, it's been an absolute pleasure, as per usual. Thank you very much, and we'll see you all later. Goodbye.
Click, click, click.